out when Dr. Candace personally invited me to her birthday party. But her birthday was 4 days ago.
What if the story everyone thought was about one shooting was actually about something much bigger? What if the real controversy wasn't just Charleston White, Jay Prince, or the people caught in the middle, but the phone calls, relationships, and unanswered questions surrounding them?
When I get to the event, it ain't a birthday cake, it ain't a happy birthday. For 3 hours, it was nothing but political talk.
Because right now, Charleston White is making serious claims about what happened. And even if part of his version can be independently proven, this story could become far more complicated than a social media argument.
Don't know the FBI is involved now, Dr. Candace. She don't know the FBI is involved now, Dr. Candace.
But let's be clear from the beginning. The claims surrounding this situation are allegations, not established facts. Some of the people mentioned have their own versions of events, and accusations should not be treated as convictions. Still, there is one reason this story has captured so much attention.
She made the invite, and from the time I talked to her when she made the invite to after I was shot at, she never called back until the next day, with no concern about my safety.
Charleston isn't backing down. Instead, he is pointing toward alleged connections, questioning the official narrative, and bringing up federal involvement in a way that has people asking one uncomfortable question: what really happened behind the scenes? And if Charleston has the evidence he says he has, the biggest shock may not be what happened that night. It may be what happened afterward.
Dr. Candace Matthews told me herself that she got permission from James Prince for me to be in her establishment. That's why I was so comfortable. I'll take a lie detector test. I will swear under oath, and I have witnesses that Dr. Candace Matthews told me herself that she got permission from James Prince.
Charleston White has never been the type of person to quietly disappear when controversy finds him. Love him or hate him, Charleston built his public identity around confrontation. He talks directly, he challenges people publicly, and he has made a career out of discussing subjects that many others would rather avoid. That personality has brought him a massive audience, but it has also brought conflict.
It ain't a birthday party. It's a political event.
Now, for y'all who don't know, this is the definition of a triple cross. For all y'all who in the chat, you looking to condemn the brother and picking and nabbing, I'm going to teach you a little something with OG. This is a triple.
For years, Charleston has positioned himself as someone willing to say what other people are afraid to say. Sometimes that has made him popular. Other times, it has put him directly in the middle of heated arguments involving celebrities, influencers, politicians, and people connected to street culture. And then there is Jay Prince.
They saying that's why nobody told you that was Jay Prince's daughter establishment and she was there. Is what they're saying. They said, why didn't nobody tell him that so he can leave? They let him stay there not knowing that she was there in the building.
James Prince has spent decades building a reputation as a powerful figure in Houston's music and business world. Through Rap-A-Lot Records and his wider network, his name became associated with some of the biggest personalities in hip-hop. That history matters because when a controversy involves someone with that level of influence, people naturally start looking beyond the immediate incident. Who knew whom? Who called whom? Who was supposed to be where? And most importantly, what happened before the cameras started rolling? That is where Charleston's version of the story becomes so important.
Dr. Candace tried to introduce me to the who set the play.
Charleston White is now coming out and accusing Dr. Candace Matthews of setting him up with Jay Prince in the Fifth Ward. He also speaks on the situation that was going viral on Instagram where Dr. Candace Matthews and another dude had interviewed somebody who claims that Popeye's chicken had left a condom and fried it inside of their chicken. Let's see what Charleston White had to say.
I was complaining. I ain't even gonna throw their name out there because I don't speak evil. But I was complaining about them same people recently and I happened to say, man, let me check in on OG. I was typing your interview in. I ain't even peep. I said, boy, look at the universe.
Hey, homie, you know what? You know what's the saddest thing about all this, my nigga? Dr. Candace got on the phone and tried to play like she didn't invite me down there, nigga. Hold on, wait. Hey, wait. I'm on my way to go do all the interviews. That's why I'm not really talking about it right now, because people paying me to come do the interview. I got Vlad TV this week. I got Say Cheese TV this week. I got Adam 22. I got 607 Monk. I got the Chill Wheel Show. Nigga, I got 7 interviews this week. Hey, homie, Dr. Candace Matthews won't be able to talk that talk no more, man. She really, my nigga. She invite. I'm gonna release my phone records. So to show y'all to connect the dots. My flight was supposed to leave at 1 o'clock that day. I'm live on TikTok when Dr. Candace personally invite me to her birthday party. But her birthday was 4 days ago. When I get to the event, it ain't a birthday cake. It ain't a happy birthday. For 3 hours, it was nothing but political talk. For 2 hours, Dr. Candace assured me, as well as her team, everything is okay. You good here. She kept assuring me. I saw the energy change. I saw the energy change.
According to Charleston, he did not simply walk into a dangerous situation without warning. He has described being invited to an event and has questioned the circumstances surrounding that invitation. And this is where the story starts to feel less like an ordinary celebrity dispute and more like a mystery. Because if someone invites you somewhere, you naturally assume the invitation is genuine. You assume the people around you are telling you the truth. You assume that if something dangerous is happening, somebody will warn you.
Dr. Candace Matthews put me on the microphone, and that was a decoy to rush me out the door as soon as I got off the microphone so I wouldn't have to go talk to them. They knew what was going on, man. Dr. Candace Matthews, off-duty police officer who was on personal protection, they saved the day.
But what if those assumptions are wrong? What if the person you trusted knew more than they told you? That is the question Charleston has been pushing. And once that question was raised, everything changed. The controversy became bigger than one event. It became about trust. It became about loyalty. And eventually, it became about who might have known what and when.
They came out and lied. Dr. Candace allowed J. Prince Jr.'s son, Lil Jr. Lil Jr. came out and made a public statement and said, the goofball is lying. He rolled up and shot in the car. That's what they said. And everybody said, yeah.
But here's the twist. Charleston has claimed that he was given assurances that made him feel comfortable enough to attend. That detail is important because it goes directly to the question of intent. If Charleston's account is accurate, then Charleston wasn't simply taking a random risk.
And Dr. Candace went along with that lie until Hellcat released the footage. Dr. Candace didn't know we had on meta glasses. They didn't know we had on meta glasses until we dropped the footage. Now they don't want to talk.
He believed he had reason to feel safe, and that creates a completely different picture of what happened. Imagine changing your plans because someone you trust tells you everything is fine. You arrive expecting one thing. Instead, the atmosphere feels different. People are watching. Cameras are present. The energy isn't what you expected. And yet you're being told to not worry. Stay calm. Everything is under control.
That's where Jay Prince and them would have had me. That's why they were trying to say I shot. Wow, I would have got charged for shooting the gun within where liquor and alcohol is, where political people is. And outside, they were trying to put the case on me, y'all. Checkmate. They was trying to put the case on me, y'all, by reversing the road so I could come back with the Uno card, the reverse card, and put it back on them.
Then, suddenly, violence breaks out. That kind of situation can change someone's life in seconds. But the story didn't end when the shooting happened. In some ways, that was only the beginning, because afterward came the competing narratives. And this is where the public began hearing dramatically different versions of the same event. Charleston has strongly disputed the idea that he was responsible for the shooting and has publicly discussed evidence he says supports his account.
That's where she tipped her hand at. So they had one out to keep the eye for Kane. That's why he took the picture. Oh, Dr. Candace Matthews. She playing both sides.
That distinction matters. A person can make a claim, produce evidence, and demand an investigation, but that does not automatically prove every part of the story. That is why the unanswered questions matter so much. What did the available footage show? Who communicated with whom before the event? Were witnesses interviewed? What information was available to investigators? And were the people involved telling the same story from the beginning? Those are the questions that could separate social media drama from something that can actually be established through evidence. And Charleston appears determined to keep those questions alive. He has talked about recordings, phone records, and alleged communications. He has also discussed federal authorities and his willingness to provide information.
Did I call James myself? She told me she called James herself. And she said, James, I don't need none of that. It's my birthday. My brother gonna be. She told me she called him and got permission. That's why I was so comfortable. That's why I was so comfortable in James Prince's daughter's establishment in 5th Ward. Because Dr. Candace Matthews herself, I'll take a lie detector test. I will swear under oath, and I have witnesses that Dr. Candace Matthews told me herself that she got permission from James Prince for me to be in her establishment.
Now, this is where viewers need to slow down. When somebody says the feds are involved, that phrase can sound explosive. But federal involvement does not automatically mean someone has been proven guilty of anything. An investigation is an investigation. A request for information is not a conviction, and an accusation is not proof.
She don't know the FBI is involved now, Dr. Candace. She don't know the FBI is involved now, Dr. Candace. Why? This was a political event, not a birthday party. The shots was fired while political candidates was in prison. This is a different kind of investigation, James. Checkmate.
But even with those warnings, federal attention can dramatically change the atmosphere around a controversy. Suddenly, people who were comfortable arguing online may have to answer questions in a much more serious environment. And that is why the alleged phone records have become such a major part of Charleston's story. Because phone records can establish communication, they can help establish timelines, they can potentially show whether people were in contact before or after an incident.
Now, the FBI want to see phone records because I was supposed to be on an airplane. Dr. Candace invited me to an event that made me delay my flight. I'm going to reschedule my flight. The only reason I stayed in Houston was to go to Dr. Candace's event. My flight was supposed to leave at 1, 2 o'clock. Reverse uno. They went to make a phone call. Reverse uno. They think I'm dumb. They think I'm dumb. Oh, no, I went to law school for a reason.
But even phone records have to be interpreted correctly. A call proves communication. It doesn't automatically prove what was discussed. That's why investigators would need more than just a list of calls. They would need context. They would need testimony. They would need evidence.
Now that James, I'm finna show y'all how this works. First, his son came out and made an unofficial statement and told a lie. They always lie, and they always get caught in a lie. Now here comes James Prince with a cryptic message, the boogeyman. FBI on ya, over there on ya, James. And guess what? I got FBI watch protection.
They would need to determine whether different pieces of information actually connect. And that is exactly why Charleston's claims have generated so much attention. He isn't simply saying, I don't like what happened. He is pointing toward a larger theory involving communication, influence, and the possibility that the public story may not tell the entire story.
Right now, as of today, there's an unofficial investigation. James, I'm flying in to make it official. We got the name of the shooter between your phone records, Dr. Candace's phone records, and my phone records. I think we own to something with the FBI or the DOJ. Everybody knows I'm a Republican. Registered Republican.
Now, think about what that means for Jay Prince. For decades, Jay Prince has been portrayed as a powerful and respected figure within the Houston entertainment world. His name carries weight, his relationships carry weight, and his history in hip-hop is well documented. So when Charleston repeatedly brings his name into the conversation, the public naturally wants answers. Was Jay Prince directly involved? Was he aware of what was happening? Did he communicate with anyone connected to the event? Or is Charleston connecting dots that ultimately don't prove what he believes they prove? Those questions cannot be answered simply because one person says they are true. They require evidence.
I just signed a brand deal with Pokemon cards. We don't need this on my record when I don't even do anything with black people anymore. I was just showing up to an invite for a friend. I can't take the smut, and I got all these brand deals on the table, and this gunshots is being fired at someone else's event, and they blame it on me.
And that is what makes this situation so fascinating. Because if the evidence supports Charleston's claims, the consequences could be enormous. But if the evidence does not support them, then Charleston's allegations could collapse under scrutiny. Either way, the truth has to come from evidence, not internet outrage. And there is another part of this story that shouldn't be ignored: the emotional side. Imagine being caught in a violent incident and then seeing your name connected to a version of events you completely reject. Imagine watching strangers debate your innocence on social media while your reputation is being discussed thousands of miles away. Imagine wondering whether people you trusted actually had your back. That kind of experience can change how a person sees relationships forever.
I was on the microphone speaking as a Republican at a Democratic and Republican bipartisan event in your neighborhood at your daughter's establishment. You can't make this street, James. Cause I ain't street, James. I was there as a registered Republican who was invited there by a community activist to speak bipartisan. That's why I was on the microphone, James, speaking, voting.
Because betrayal doesn't always come from an enemy. Sometimes betrayal hurts the most when it comes from somebody you believed was your friend. That is why Charleston's repeated focus on the invitation is so important. The invitation represents trust. The alleged assurances represent trust. And what happened afterward represents the collapse of that trust. If Charleston's version is accurate, then the emotional damage wasn't just about the physical danger. It was about realizing that the people around him may not have been telling him everything. And for someone whose entire public persona is built around distrust of powerful systems and powerful people, that would hit especially hard.
That was a Democratic voter intimidation, and I'm taking it to the Department.
His career also became part of the story. Charleston has built his platform around controversy, commentary, and confrontation. A major criminal allegation could have damaged his reputation, his business relationships, and his ability to continue speaking publicly. Even being accused can have consequences. People don't always wait for evidence. They see a headline, they watch a short clip, they hear one side, and suddenly they think they know the entire story. That's the danger of viral controversy. The internet can turn uncertainty into certainty overnight.
You just perfectly fine, no perfectly cooked condom and no chicken, and ain't no flour on it. Ain't no flour on the condom. The condom didn't melt in that grease. They want us to believe that a condom went into some grease and fried chicken and fried with the condom. Fried, no. Boy, that's some, I call that. Now they running down Popeyes.
But real investigations don't work that way. They require documents, they require timelines, they require witnesses, they require corroboration, and they require patience. This is why the alleged federal connection has become such a major talking point.
If federal investigators are actually examining relevant communications or evidence, then the conversation could eventually move away from social media and toward facts that can be independently verified. And if no such evidence supports the bigger allegations, then those claims will have to be treated accordingly. Either way, the evidence is what matters.
All they want the people to do is to get eating free chicken. Hey, y'all, free chicken and Popeye's leg, thanks to Cornell Leg and Dr. Candy. We done went from hanging from the tree, hollering no justice, no peace. We want some free pieces of chicken. Free pieces of chicken to everybody. Our community activism done went all the way down to chickens and rubber.
But here's what nobody expected. The controversy has created an entirely different battle. It isn't only Charleston versus Jay Prince, it is Charleston versus the narrative. Charleston appears determined to challenge the story being told about him. He is saying, in effect, don't just listen to the accusation. Look at the timeline, look at the communication, look at the evidence. Ask who benefited, ask who knew what, ask why certain decisions were made. And that approach has attracted people who believe there are unanswered questions. At the same time, critics argue that Charleston's interpretation of events should not be confused with independently established facts.
James, I'm flying in to make it official. We got the name of the shooter between your phone records, Dr. Candy's phone records, and my phone records. I think we own to something with the FBI or the DOJ.
And that is a fair criticism, because when emotions are high, confirmation bias becomes powerful. People see the evidence that supports what they already believe and ignore everything else. That is exactly why this story needs caution. There are serious allegations involving real people. There are reputations involved. There may be legal consequences. And nobody watching from the outside has the complete picture unless investigators, courts, or reliable documentation establish it. Still, one thing is undeniable. Charleston White has refused to let the controversy disappear. He continues to discuss it, he continues to raise questions, and he continues to suggest that there is more happening beneath the surface. Whether every allegation survives scrutiny is another question entirely.
White is now coming out and accusing Dr. Candace Matthews of setting him up with Jay Prince in the Fifth Ward.
But the fact that people are still talking about it shows just how powerful the story has become. And perhaps the biggest lesson is not about Charleston. It's not even about Jay Prince. It's about what happens when trust collapses in a world where every phone call, every message, and every decision can become evidence. One invitation can change everything. One phone call can raise questions. One accusation can damage a reputation. And one piece of evidence can completely change the narrative. That's why the final chapter of this story may not be written on YouTube. It may not be written on Instagram. It may not be written in a viral interview. It may be written in documents, testimony, recordings, and facts that can survive serious scrutiny. Because social media loves a villain. It loves a conspiracy. It loves a shocking headline. But the truth is usually more complicated. Maybe Charleston's accusations will eventually be supported by evidence. Maybe investigators will uncover something nobody expected. Maybe the alleged connections will turn out to be misunderstood. Or maybe the entire story will end very differently from the way social media predicted. And that is the part that should keep everyone watching. Because when powerful names, personal relationships, violence, and alleged federal attention all collide, assumptions become dangerous. So before you decide who is guilty, who is innocent, who betrayed whom, or who was secretly pulling the strings, ask yourself one simple question: where is the evidence? Because Charleston White may have started this conversation with accusations, but the only thing capable of ending it is proof. And if the evidence eventually tells a completely different story, everyone watching will have to reconsider what they believed.
But if the evidence supports the questions Charleston has been raising, then this could become much bigger than internet drama. It could become a story about trust, influence, accountability, and what happens when somebody refuses to stay silent. For now, the questions remain. Who knew what? Who communicated with whom? What really happened before that night? And why did the story become so complicated afterward? Those answers matter, because sometimes the loudest part of a scandal isn't the truth, it's the silence surrounding it. And until that silence is broken by evidence, the biggest question remains unanswered. Was Charleston White really caught in a situation he never understood? Or is there another side of this story that the public has not seen yet? Only time, investigation, and verifiable evidence can tell us. And that is exactly why this story is far from over.
Now they don't want to talk. Now they don't want to talk. Now they want to switch the subject like ain't nothing happened.
Right.
She don't know the FBI is involved.
And that brings us to the end of this story. But honestly, it feels like this is only the beginning. There are still questions surrounding Charleston White, J. Prince, the people connected to this controversy, and what may have happened behind the scenes. We've heard different claims, different versions, and plenty of accusations, but the real truth will always come down to one thing: evidence. Because social media can create a story overnight, but evidence can change that story just as quickly. Charleston White has made it clear that he is not backing down. He continues to raise questions and challenge the narrative surrounding him. Whether every claim he has made is eventually proven is something only time and credible evidence can determine. And that's what makes this situation so interesting. Was Charleston telling the full story? Are there details that the public still doesn't know? Were there conversations behind the scenes that could completely change our understanding of what happened? We may not have all the answers yet, but one thing is certain: the story has created a lot of questions, and people are watching closely to see what happens next. So now, I want to hear from you. What do you think about this entire situation? Do you believe Charleston White has exposed something bigger? Or do you think people are making connections without enough evidence? Drop your opinion in the comments below. I want to know what you think. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our next update. We'll continue following the story and bringing you the latest developments as more information becomes available. Until then, stay safe, stay informed, and remember, don't believe everything you hear. Always look at the facts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.